Low testosterone life is living as the shell of the man you are meant to be. Looking in the mirror, not liking what's looking back at you. Lacking the mental clarity, being stuck in a brain fog, lacking the vitality, lacking the body of your dreams. You know you're meant for more and you are called for more. The truth that no one tells you is that you can optimize your hormones and reap the benefits of high testosterone without actually having steroids. People don't tell you that you can actually do things that impact your testosterone levels, that impact your estrogen levels, so that you can have 17-inch arms and have the strength of a Greek god, because it is so achievable, so much more achievable than people tell you. In this video, you're going to learn about the low testosterone symptoms as well as the high testosterone symptoms, and at the very end, I'm going to give you rapid fire things you can do to increase your testosterone so that you can reap the benefits of hormonal optimization. Let's go. We'll start off with a rapid fire low testosterone versus high testosterone symptom breakdown. If you've got low testosterone, you will have low energy, low sex drive, weak muscles, more belly fat, low confidence. You might have the propensity to act more passive in situations that require actual confrontation. Someone might treat you wrong, and instead of actually asserting yourself and making sure that people don't treat you wrong, you will just let it happen and be quiet, or even you might even say sorry. Along with brain fog, not always being able to think clearly, not being able to convey your thoughts, your ideas in ways that people understand. You might find yourself withdrawn from other people, not wanting to engage in more social settings. This is typically because your testosterone can also influence your mood and your perception of yourself. If you have low testosterone, it can also make you think that people are not gonna like you, that you are not worth the time of other people. Consequently, this will cause you to have less experiences in life with others and have less opportunities, because often the people you know, as well as the hard work you get, will actually the hard work you put in will actually be noticed by other people if you do surround yourself more with other people. And then the last thing I'll mention is that you will be more irritable. Again, because you have a low self-esteem, you might be more insecure. So if somebody says like, nice shirt or something like that, you might take it wrong. On the other hand, if you have high testosterone, it's essentially flipping these low testosterone symptoms. High testosterone will also influence your estrogen levels, and if you optimize them both to the correct range, then you will have a strong libido. You'll have increased muscle mass and also be much leaner than you would be if you had low testosterone. You will be able to eat more, and your metabolism would be much higher too. This would make you aesthetic, and then not to mention also calm confidence from all the other factors from your life, but also your hormones also influence your mood. So this calm confidence you have would also cause you to be more assertive, and you would be more dominant. You would engage in more social situations and more competition for you to win. And this positive feedback would influence your testosterone levels to skyrocket more and more, because the winners keep on winning and the losers keep on losing. That is the truth, and that is the physiology of the truth. And lastly, I'll mention being sharp. You will be able to convey your thoughts efficiently and quickly. People will be able to understand you, and this will also open up more opportunity for success in your endeavors. Will also allow for a laser focus. The truth that you do not realize is that the opportunities for success are there. You can become successful in any facet within a week. The truth is that you just are not mentally open to the opportunities of success. And what happens is it starts in your mind. Every part of success starts within the mind. You start to see the extra opportunities. If I tell you to look for a blue car or to consider a blue car, you start to see blue cars more often. This is called the reticular activation system within your brain. Now, if you influence your hormones will influence your mind. It will influence the thoughts you think and your perception, the things that you place your focus on, your attention towards. So increasing your testosterone will give you more aggressive, as in aggression towards life, being able to chase your goals instead of reacting to the circumstances you have. Instead of reacting to all the circumstances of life, you will be able to chase your goals and respond to your life. Moving on to the body illustration. If you've got low testosterone, typically you'll have a higher body fat percentage, and you will also have smaller arms, you will have less muscle mass. and a skinny fat torso, likely a skinnier neck. Also, your androgen receptors, the acceptors of testosterone, they won't be as sensitive to testosterone because, well, you don't have that much testosterone, but also if you have low testosterone, you're causing your androgen receptors to not be as healthy, because if you were in peak health, your body would be operating as its peak form, the form it is meant to operate at. So your androgen receptors are most concentrated in your chest, traps, and shoulders. These parts of your body, because they have low testosterone levels, to stimulate them, they would be much smaller. And this would lead you to have the skinny fat body ratio. And if you have low testosterone, you likely have high cortisol, you might even have high estrogen levels, and this might even cause you to develop gyno, which is male breast tissue. This could be either because of fat, or it can actually be you actually developing male breast tissue. If we go to the high testosterone physique, you can notice obviously at the get-go a V-taper. Increased muscle mass, likely a thicker neck, not that thick. And this V-taper is developed because your androgen receptors that are most concentrated in your shoulders, your traps, and also your genitals, but we're not going to draw that. The concentration of the androgen receptors being healthy but also being stimulated by the high testosterone levels will give you that V-taper physique. Not only will you have increased muscle mass, especially in your androgen receptors, you will also be much more lean, meaning that you'd also have like a sharper jawline, and likely you'd have more body hair because your dihydrotestosterone will also be upregulated if you have higher testosterone levels typically. The other thing is your bones will become denser and you won't break as easy. Now, I've mainly talked about mostly the superficial aspects to having high testosterone and optimized hormone levels, because we don't just want to optimize testosterone, we also want to optimize estrogen, calcitonin, thyroxine for metabolic function, for bone density. The really important thing with making sure your hormones are in check, not just the physical aspects, not just looking better, not just the dimorphic traits that are associated with masculinity. In fact, the most important aspect to this is your approach to the world, your response to the world. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, testosterone can help you have a more calm mind. If you have a more calm mind, you'll also have more testosterone. But the thing is that you can respond to life rather than react to life. The times in your life where things have spiraled the most has been when you have been the most stressed, the most in that sympathetic fight or flight state. Now, while short bursts of stress can increase testosterone, being stressed for a long, prolonged period of time will actually increase cortisol, which is inverse to testosterone. And all of this together creates a concoction for failure. If you are not in a relaxed state, then your body will not be in a parasympathetic state, meaning it will not be in the rest, digest, and reproduce. And testosterone is meant for competition and also reproduction. So short bursts of stress are good for testosterone. And if you're not having those, then why would you need the testosterone anyways? Testosterone exists for competition. If you are not being competitive in any way, you do not need testosterone, and you do not need the benefits of testosterone either, because what are you doing with your life? Now, the thing is, we want to respond to our circumstances instead of react. If you are the kind of person that does not expect for them to be successful in any way, then this isn't the channel for you. But if you want to be successful, if you want to be that man you are called to be, the one that God calls you to be, then you must optimize your hormones and also chase that life, because the action of chasing it, but also the action of optimizing your hormones, they go intertwined. Doing one helps with the other, vice versa. And this is where hormonal optimization becomes entirely important. When you have the correct ratios of hormones, you avoid this. If you have low testosterone, low hormones, you do not have an impact on the world as much. Having the incorrect hormone levels is a result of not having an impact on the world as much, and not being social with other people, not being competitive, and you have a dim fire within, something that you can barely even see, something that is easily blown away and never noticed. And in order to be successful, you must be noticed. In order to be successful, to get the money, to get the physique even, you must work hard, terribly hard. Once you realize that it takes so much more strength, discipline, willpower, and consistency to actually achieve the goals and get to the places you want to be, that is where everything changes. That is when you start responding. That is when you start chasing the life that you were meant to live. When you develop this belief, these beliefs within your body, you develop an incredible fire within. A fire that is much harder to blow away because it's just fueled by itself. Very quickly, I'll put on the screen a YouTube short I had made literally just a couple days ago that just rapid fire gave you a lot of ways you can increase your testosterone. But the truth is, my entire channel is for hormonal optimization, especially for testosterone optimization. If you would like to really take this seriously and see just the fullest extent of what your genetic potential is capable but not only what your mind is capable of, check the link in the description below. That is my system. That system has brought me to 200 pounds, pretty lean, still being able to see my abs, 17.5-inch arms, and also being able to bench 315 and hopefully squat 405 tomorrow. I'm telling you, this is achievable. Having the body of your dreams, the aesthetics is achievable. Being able to think clearly, concisely, being able to convey yourself, not only your thoughts in the world so people can understand, but also convey your soul into the world so people can see just what you are capable of. Check the link in the description, like the video, subscribe.